Today's demo is on transfer and trace. It's very similar to the process we used for the type assignment in the first week. You're going to do the same method, either using your computer screen to trace lightly with a harder pencil and tape it onto your screen, or print out the Pella window postcard and, as I'm doing here, trace over it onto a tissue paper. You can use a ruler to help you with very light lines, and make sure you're getting right under the text and the letters. And make sure that you're drawing your letters all the way to your lines, and you can do top and bottom. And do light lines just so you get really nice and neat letters that are following the guidelines. So I'm going to go through and draw these letters, draw the house, and again, use your ruler if you feel more comfortable doing that, and do it fairly lightly with your harder pencil. Or you can freehand if you feel comfortable doing it that way. And get the outline of your major pieces, the windows, which then you might want to just cross-hatch a little bit so that you know that that needs to be filled in later. Same here, where you're starting to plan out what's going to be darker and lighter. And there's some medium tones in there too as well, where you see on this porch decking here, and you would fill in all the details that you can, all the larger text you need to outline. You want to get this as close as possible to what it actually looks like, as if you have taken a photocopy of this color image and changed it, the whole thing, over to black and white. So as we go along, it's going to be very much like your type assignment, the first part, where you're tracing exactly the logos, everything, even the Pella, getting that the strokes down with the font to match, thick and thin. So as you go along, you're going to do the whole postcard, front and back. It's a bit of work, but it will help you understand the fonts, spacing, highlights, light and dark. Now, for your final, on regular paper, your sketch pad paper, to get it from this tissue, which is not your final, to this, you need to find a way to transfer this is the beginnings of my drawing, onto here. And the nice thing about this is you get another shot to perfect your drawing. Now, what we're going to do is, the new part is you're going to tape. First thing we'll do is write back so you know which way you're looking. And you're going to tape down the drawing eventually, but right now what you're going to do is take the harder pencil, and I have some in class that's softer. The softer pencil, the harder one is the thinner line, and you're going to scribble over the lines that you've already created. And you're going to go along, I'm using my lead here, on the side, and give yourself some room to make adjustments to the lines. So you want to make this somewhat large as far as the area goes that you're scribbling. So again, you have some opportunity to make changes. And this is the back of your tissue drawing. Okay, and you're going to go through the whole thing and put some lead down on the back. So when you flip it over and you tape it down, you're going to take your harder pencil again and you're going to redraw. So you don't want a whole lot of details in this first go round. You can fill that in now and then compare it once it's transferred, and you can perfect your drawing on your regular paper. So you do want to just get like the outlines, placement, here's this. And so what happens is you are transferring some of the lead as a guide onto your paper below. There's a video on Blackboard that also shows if you had transfer paper, which is basically like a lead-backed paper that would, like a carbon paper, that would act as this backing that you've created. So this is the method without carbon paper or transfer paper, and then this is the method where you're creating your own way to transfer your drawing onto your finished assignment. So you can see now I can then go back, complete the lines, make them dark, fill in the areas that need to be filled in, either crosshatch or the side of the pencil. You do need to match, and you would use this for reference. So now that I have this without the tissue, I can see there's some lines within this darker area that I would want to make even darker than the inside of this window. And a few lines. And again, it's a little bit of perspective, but you can see these are all parallel lines. The roof lines, this is parallel, this is parallel. And so this will help you just get familiar with how these perspective angles work, as well as practice drawing, practice filling in. You can use your harder lead to fill in the larger areas of dark. So the type that's black, these darker areas that are black should be very dark, the darkest. Where you've got the yellow, you want that lighter, but yet you can tell that there is a band of color, a band there. Don't leave it all white and then just fill in that. Make sure that you're coloring in some of this area so that it looks like a 20% gray. So keep that in mind. As well as, some of the details. Now, behind this screen back area, you can just do some light lines to indicate where those tree branches are. They're dark enough. And just some light lines here to fill in. And then do the dark areas, fill in the different shading, and all of the logo. So that's what you need to do for our next class, is the front and back of this postcard. And that's using this trace and transfer method.